I think the other thing to keep in mind as well is that we've never been in, at least in modern history, we've never had a situation where the government has not been able to control the currency. So, although there are negatives for all the quantitative easing that happened over the past couple of years, it did keep us, in theory, as a global society from going into a much deeper funk after the global financial crisis than we did already. And so governments around the world use these tools of the fiscal and monetary tools to be able to adjust the amount of currency in circulation and set the tone and the stance. Interest rates, as an example, to be able to control the economy in the best way that modern economic theory allows. But when you have something like Bitcoin or something that's is either deflationary or follows a different inflation path, that becomes very challenging. And I think that's why the government has been a little bit anti-Bitcoin and potentially anti-Libra as well, is because it then loses control of those levers that it has used in the past to stabilize the economy when needed or to affect change when needed. So there are some challenges around that. But I think when we look at the idea of central bank digital currencies, it's definitely something that governments are very interested in. If you look at certain places like Sweden, there's actually pushback because they've gone too digital. So there's certain segments of the population, not that Sweden has a large financially excluded population, but the elder generation that's more comfortable using cash, there's actually been pushback because so many of the transactions are digital and there's so little cash left that it's becoming a problem. But governments around the world, the transparency and the control that digital currency gives, whether in a semi-centralized form like an Alipay or a WeChat, or a completely centralized form like a central bank digital currency, is something that's very attractive. And certainly, I think 100 years from now, if not sooner, cash will not exist, and we'll be using some form of digital currency in our wallets, our phones, or just even embedded in ourselves to make transactions. Cash will go away eventually, but it may take a couple of generations for that to comfortably happen for everybody.